I live in Bazi Avenue, Lavington, and the reason I'm here is because of the announcement that was made by the governor about extending floor limits to 25 floors. We think this is not a bad thing, but we need to know from him how they are going to mitigate this, how they're going to take care of the roads, they're going to take care of sewage, drainage, traffic, parks, child play, and all the places that are needed necessarily, which are necessarily needed, environmental friendly area. That's where we live, and we don't want it impacted negatively.
So what are the concerns of Lavington residents?
The concerns of Lavington residents that we have a lot of buildings coming up, and these buildings are against the zoning, because our zoning currently is four floors or less, but there are buildings coming up with more than 10, 20, 30 floors, and we are against this. So based on the governor's announcement, we think more are going to come up, and we are against this. We don't want this. Don't want this until and unless they mitigate. They tell us what they're going to do about the sewage, what they're going to do about the drainage, what they're going to do about the schools, the roads, the parks, spaces for children to play, and they have to provide that before they can build this. Otherwise, we are against this vehemently.
Lavington has been considered one of the Poshi estates. What will matter on the quality of life after the erection of this high-rise?
It will reduce the quality of light because there will be problem with traffic, there will be problem with signals for TV and the phones. There will be problem with the roads. There will be infrastructural problems like sewage. They have to expand sewage. We'll have a problem with sewage. We'll have a problem with the drainage. Like now, the drainages are not bad. When it rains, the water can go through, but there are many people it's going to impact. So those are our concerns. And many other environmental problems because they're going to cut trees, and you can't cut trees in Lavington. So those are our concerns.
What are the recommendations of today's meeting?
The recommendations of today's meeting is that we all agreed that we're going to let the governor know through the media or through ourselves as chairman. I'm one of the chairmen of Bazi Avenue. We're going to let the media know that we're going to let the governor know through the media that we are against this unless they provide to us a mitigating factor. Plus, we think this was a roadside announcement. We want them to legislate this, make it a law, and before they make it a law, we want our representation. So we are asking the governor to look into our concerns before these buildings take effect.
According to Governor Sakaja, saying that he has got back from the government, that is William Ruto. What can you say about that and the affordable housing?
You see, this is all I can say is that it's good to have houses because we have less houses, and it's going to help the people. But affordable housing is a presidential idea which has been embraced by the country, and they have signed it into law. So I can't talk much about that. That's a law. What we are saying is that we need more houses. Yes, we do need more houses. We need people to have places to live, especially in Nairobi. But remember, land has a fixed supply. You cannot expand the land, the size of the land. So based on the supply and demand law in economics, you cannot expand the land beyond what it is. That is why they're suggesting that we go up, which is fine because it will accommodate more people because Nairobi population will increase. That's fine, 100% fine. But you need to see how you're going to deal with the services which I've just mentioned. Now, I live in New York for many years, over a quarter century, and New York is very, very, very congested. There are a lot of buildings in New York. In Singapore, I've been to Dubai, and this is fine, but you have to provide these services. You have to tell people what you're going to do about the sewage, what you're going to do about the roads, parks, or drainage system, and all for children play, and all that is needed. So it's not a bad idea. We just need to know how are they going to mitigate this.
Engineer Shama Kiteme, I'm the President-elect of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Today we have been privileged to join our colleagues in the construction industry, AK, KPDA and others, to take a position on the whole declaration that the Governor of Nairobi, Honorable Sakaja, declared that now we are going to have buildings rising up to 25 floors in a couple of estates that we knew the height of the buildings was limited. Now, we are concerned because that roadside declaration goes against all good ways of carrying out urban planning. We believe that urban planning should be carefully thought out And it is very unfortunate that as governor, he can wake up and make a roadside declaration. We do believe that planning should precede development. It is not the other way around. He cannot wake up and make a declaration on development that is not backed by real and good planning. And the main reason for us as engineers is that you do not just need to develop a building. You need to have the supporting infrastructure. You need to think about water supply. We know this city, people are going weeks without water in their taps. You need to think about sanitation. We know in this city, sewer is bursting every here and then. We know there are places whereby they don't have public sewer. You need to think about roads. We know there are places that it is inaccessible, even in case of an emergency, to bring in emergency vehicles. And so our concern is that you need to have proper planning before you embark on development. And our statement today, which we have issued jointly with AAK, KPDA, and other BMOs in the infrastructure industry, is to make it clear to the governor that he should lead efforts for proper planning and not add into the confusion. Think about social amenities, hospitals, think about schools. You do not want to put up buildings where people are going to be living there, they cannot have access to light, and therefore our kids get stunted growth. And so the main theme and the main message today to the governor is please think about urban planning before you talk about development of 25-story buildings in Kileleshwa and other places where ordered development is very necessary.
It is not a Nairobi issue, it's a Kenyan issue. Planning is a Kenyan issue, housing is a Kenyan issue, land is a Kenyan issue. And if we do not set the precedent right now here in Nairobi, what will happen to other counties? What will happen to other cities? We're talking about Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru. What will happen to the capitals of other counties? So this is the place where things need to be done properly. Planning needs to be done properly so that by the time the other counties and the other cities are getting their plans and their development plans and their master plans, then they will have something to lean on. And also, residents and citizens will be able to understand that they have a say in this matter, that they're able to raise their voices as well. You know, we may think that we will leave this to the capital, but no, it will come and affect you one day as a Kenyan, wherever you are, whether you're in Mombasa, Trans Nzoia, Machakos, Turkana, Uasin Gishu, wherever you are, it will come and affect you. So let's set the precedent now and demand our rights and make sure that plans are followed so that we're able to live in a common community with access for children, for religious organizations, and for our communities in general. It is not a class thing. Kenyans must understand. It's not about class. It's about planning and it's about community.
So what are the concerns of the residents?
Well, the thing is, we're also part of what was called Zone 5. And like each zone has its own regulations as far as floors are concerned and all that. Now, the Residents Association I represent is not even on the sewer line. We're not on the sewer line. So everyone has their own way of disposing of their sewage in septic tanks and all that. So if large-scale development comes, then it will already be a problem with sewage. At the moment, we're not seeing that problem, but it is creeping up. And we're saying if it's happening to other estates, no one wants the problems that happened and the disorganization and chaos that happens in pipeline. Those guys are really suffering, you know, but no one wants to have that. So in Loresho, yes, we're still in the green and leafy suburbs, but it doesn't mean we cannot fight for the entire city. It doesn't mean that. And we are being encroached on slowly. Development will happen, yes, but let it be planned. Let us have green spaces. Let us have areas where children can play, surely. You know, children can walk without a problem. Pedestrian ways are marked, that there's street lighting, you know, and there's less problem with criminality. So it's not about where you live. I lived in Jamhuri Estate a long time ago, and when I go back and look at that place, I feel pity, because there used to be playgrounds, there was, you know, there was lighting, People would even leave their gates open, there was so much community going on, but now things have changed. So this is going to cascade to every single part of Nairobi and eventually to the rest of the country if we're not careful and we don't demand our rights.
What are the recommendations to the Sakajas?
Listen to the people. Because, in the end, I'm a political scientist, so I know that when it comes to politics, you are there entrusted with a public good as a public official. You have a public good that has been put into your hands. It's not yours to play around with. And public goods are supposed to be for generations to come. You're entrusted to uphold them and keep them for generations to come. So if you don't listen to the people and don't realize that your time is very short, you'll be here one season. Last season there was somebody else. The next season someone else will come. Listen to the people. I think that's the first thing. The second thing is follow the plans and policy. Plans are there for a reason. So why not follow the plans that have already been set in place? New plan has been mentioned today. Now it needs to be sent down to the local residents, residential areas, so that they can also do their own plans. And you had I think it was the chairperson of AAK said that Mukuru have already done their plan, and that is so laudable. Yeah, but how are we to do that if left, right, and center buildings are coming up with no plan? And I think that's my message to this government of the county, that you need to listen to your people and you need to know that power is not eternal. Power is not eternal. Yeah, you're entrusted with the public good, and hold that and maintain that for future generations.